Hey crafters, welcome to day 3 of our How to Crochet series for absolute beginners. In today's video, I'm going to teach you how to do the half double crochet stitch. So grab your hook and your yarn and let's go to the crafting table. All right, let's start the half double crochet tutorial. So of course, the first thing we're going to do is we are going to make our slip knot. So remember, with our slip knot, we wrap the yarn around our fingers and we pull the working yarn through. And then the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to chain 15 stitches. So we are going to chain 15 stitches. So let's get our 15 chains. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. All right, so we have our 15 chains. Now, if you don't know how to create a slip knot, a foundation chain, or how to yarn over, please pause this video and go watch day 1 of my crochet tutorials for absolute beginners, where I go over all of this in slow motion. Now we're going to create our first row of half double crochet stitches now that we have our 15 foundation chains. So in day 2 of our crochet series, we learned where to place the hook to create our first row of stitches. So we should be placing our hook in the back loop. So remember, we talked about our front loops and our back loops of our stitches. Remember, our stitches are these V shapes here. So we have a front loop and a back loop. The front loop is the loop that's facing you. The back loop is the loop that's to the back. In general, when we are crocheting the first row of our project using half double crochet stitches, you will insert the hook into the third chain from the hook. So 1, 2, 3. However, if you are using a pattern, make sure you're following the instructions in the crochet pattern because they may tell you to insert the hook somewhere else. So we are going to insert our hook into the third chain from the hook. So to create our first half double crochet stitch, you're going to yarn over first, and then we're going to insert our hook into the back loop of that third chain. Then we're going to yarn over, draw our hook through. So now you should have 3 stitches on your crochet hook. And then we're going to yarn over again. We're going to turn down and we're going to pull through all 3 of our loops. So that is our first half double crochet stitch. And so we're going to continue down the rest of our chains. So same thing again. So you're going to yarn over, insert the hook into the back loop. Then you're going to yarn over again, draw the yarn through that loop. You got 3 stitches on your crochet hook. Yarn over again, pull through all 3 loops. Yarn over, insert your hook to your chain, draw through, yarn over one more time, pull through all 3 loops. All right, and we're going to keep going. So we yarn over, insert our hook into that back loop, yarn over again, draw through all 3 loops, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. All right, I'm going to do it one more time, slowly. So we're yarning over, We're inserting our hook into the chain, the back loop of the chain. Then we're going to yarn over again, rotate our hook down, draw through the loops, yarn over one more time. We got 3 loops on the hook, and we're going to pull our yarn through all 3 loops. Now, when we do the single crochet, it's different. We don't have that yarn over initially. We go into our loop first and then we yarn over. So, but remember, with half double crochet, you start with the yarn over and then you insert your hook into the loops. So we're just going to keep working across our row. So we're going to yarn over, insert your hook into the back loop of that chain, yarn over, got 3 loops on the hook, yarn over again, pull through those 3 loops. All right, yarn over, insert our hook into the back loop of our chain, yarn over, draw through the loop, yarn over again, and we're going to draw the yarn through all 3 loops. And as you can see, we are creating our half double crochet stitches. So yarn over, insert your hook into the chain, yarn over, draw the yarn through that chain, yarn over again, and draw through all 3 loops. Yarn over, insert your hook into the back loop of the chain, yarn over, draw your yarn through the loop, yarn over again, and draw through all 3 loops. Yarn over, insert your hook into the loop, yarn over again, draw through, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, insert hook to the back loop, yarn over again, draw through, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. All right, and now we're getting down to our last chain, which is right here. Remember, this is our slip knot at the end. So we're going to yarn over, insert our hook, yarn over again, draw through the chain, yarn over one more time, and we're going to draw through all 3 loops on the hook. All right, so you've just completed your first row of half double crochet stitches. Remember, the chain stitch down at the bottom does not count as a row. And because we had to skip the first 2 stitches, because remember we half double crocheted into the 3rd chain from the hook, our number of stitches should be reduced by 2. So we should have a total of 13 stitches. So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and stitch number 13. So we have 13 stitches. So remember, to create a new row, we need to create a turning chain. And the turning chain is the number of stitches you create at the end of the row or round to match the height of your stitch. This helps to keep our rows even. So we don't want one of our rows to be shorter than the other unless the pattern calls for it. So if you remember, with the single crochet, we only had to chain 1. But with the half double crochet, you're going to chain 2 stitches. So let's chain our 2. So 1, yarn over, 2. And then we're going to turn our work back around. Now, whether or not the half double crochet turning chain counts as a stitch depends on your crochet pattern. Make sure to check your crochet pattern to determine if this turning chain that you just had counts as a stitch. So depending on your pattern determines where you're going to crochet into here. But for this tutorial, we are going to crochet into the first half double crochet right here underneath the turning chain. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to yarn over. We're going to insert our hook. And remember, we're going under both stitches. So you're going under both stitches when we start our row. So you're going under both stitches, and I draw the yarn through the stitch, and we should have our 3 loops. So let's check it out. We got 1, 2, 3. I'm going to yarn over again and draw through all 3 loops. 1, 2, and 3. And then we're just going to continue across the row, and then we're going to count our stitches to make sure we have 13 at the end. All right, so we're going to yarn over, insert our hook under both loops of the half double crochet stitch, yarn over and draw our yarn through. Got 3 loops, yarn over again, pull through all 3 loops, yarn over, insert your hook underneath your loops, yarn over, draw through the stitch, yarn over, draw through all 3 loops, yarn over, insert your hook between your underneath that stitch, yarn over, draw through, yarn over, draw the yarn through all 3 loops. And then we're just going to keep going down the chain. So yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over again, draw the yarn through the stitch, yarn over again, draw through all 3 loops. All right, we need a little more yarn. So same thing, yarn over, insert our hook underneath the stitch, yarn over again, draw through the loop, yarn over, draw through all 3 loops, yarn over, insert your hook underneath your stitch, yarn over, draw through 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, draw through all 3 loops. All right, and if you need to slow down this tutorial, remember that if you're on your cell phone, you can push the gear up in the right hand side to slow down the speed, or if you're on your desktop, there should be a gear button down at the bottom where that you can click on to slow down the speed of the video so that you can, see what I'm doing if I'm going too fast. So don't forget about those gear icons that you can use to adjust the speed of the video. All right, so we're going to yarn over, insert our hook underneath the stitch, yarn over again, draw our yarn through, yarn over, pull through 3 stitches, yarn over, insert your hook underneath that top stitch, yarn over, draw the yarn through, yarn over, pull through, and we have a few more stitches left. Yarn over, insert underneath the hook, yarn over, draw through all 3, yarn over, insert underneath the stitch, yarn over, draw the yarn through, yarn over again, draw through all 3 loops. We're going to yarn over one last time, insert our hook, yarn over, draw the yarn through, yarn over, and draw through all 3 loops. So we have completed our second row of half double crochet stitches. So we are going to do one more row for practice, and I'm going to go a little faster. We also want to make sure that we count our stitches. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then we have our 13th stitch right here. So remember, this is our turning chain. All right, so if you've enjoyed this tutorial so far, give us a thumbs up. We are going to go ahead and create our third row, our practice row. Remember, in our practice row, I do this a little faster, but I'm still going to be calling out the instructions. Remember, for our half double crochet, we make 2 for our turning chain. So we're going to chain 2 for our third row. And then we're going to turn our work. Then we're going to half double crochet into the first stitch underneath our turning chain. So remember, we yarn over, insert our hook, we yarn over and draw through the line, draw through the yarn. We have 3 loops on our hook, and we're going to draw through all 3. So that's 1, yarn over, insert our hook, yarn over, draw through, yarn over. That's 2, yarn over, insert our hook, yarn over and draw through, yarn over. That's 3, yarn over, insert our hook, yarn over again, draw through, yarn over, draw through 3, that's 4, yarn over, insert our hook, yarn over and draw through, yarn over, draw through all 3, yarn over, insert our hook, yarn over and draw through, yarn over, draw through all 3, yarn over, insert our hook, yarn over, draw through, yarn over, go through 3, yarn over, insert our hook, yarn over and draw through, yarn over, draw through all 3 stitches, yarn over, insert our hook, yarn over, draw through, yarn over, pull through all 3 stitches, yarn over, insert our hook, draw through, yarn over, draw through all 3, yarn over, insert our hook, yarn over and draw through, yarn over again, draw through all 3, yarn over, insert our hook, draw through, yarn over, draw through 3, and then we have our last stitch, which is going into the top of our turning chain. So yarn over, and sometimes getting your hook through that last stitch can be a little difficult, especially if you don't have a new hook. My hook is not as sharp as it used to be, but we're going to go through there, yarn over, draw through, yarn over, and draw through all 3. And now we want to check our work. So we want to make sure that we have 13 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. So we have 13 stitches. We haven't lost any stitches, which is really important when you start doing these different stitches, the double crochet, half double crochet. Because if you are missing your stitches on the end, then your work will start to shorten and start to kind of make like a triangle shape, which you don't want to do. So now that we've learned how to chain stitch, single crochet, and half double crochet, let's compare our stitches. As you can see, when we place these swatches side by side, the half double crochet is slightly taller than the single crochet stitch. It's also not as dense as the single crochet stitch, which this is the single crochet stitch, this is the half double crochet, which makes it a little more flexible than the single crochet stitch. Now, when we compare our half double crochet stitch to our double crochet stitch, we can see that the double crochet stitch is taller than the half double crochet stitch. It also has a lot looser weave than the double crochet stitch. As you can tell, you can kind of, see through this one better than you can with the half double crochet stitch. So when we compare all 3 of them together, the half double crochet is actually an in-between stitch between the single crochet and the double crochet. So it's not as dense as the single crochet stitch, but it's also not as loose as the double crochet stitch. And so this is important to think about when you're choosing which stitch to do for your different crochet projects. I hope you enjoyed learning how to half double crochet. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so that you can get the notification for day 4 of our How to Crochet series for absolute beginners, where I'll be teaching you how to do the double crochet stitch. Keep practicing, and I'll see you in the next video.